Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we are talking about chemicals and toxic exposure and how you can reduce your toxic load. So chemicals can be really harmful, and they are hidden in so many places. Some of which may not be very obvious. So if you missed my video last week or the last video I posted, I really went into great detail about where some of these chemicals are hidden. So if you missed that, go back and watch it. But today I'm giving you my top tips for reducing your chemical exposure and where they are commonly found. All right, so before I jump in, I just need to attach a disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not a substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. It is for informational purposes only. So please consult your qualified health professional for any changes to your medical care. All right, so my first tip, buy organic produce. Many of the harmful chemicals that can cause inflammation are found in pesticides. In conventional farming, pesticides are sprayed on crops to keep pests away. Organic farming, you are not allowed to use any synthetic pesticides. So everything that organic farmers use, they have to be natural. And there are plenty of natural, pesticides that you can use on plants to keep pests away. But in order to be certified organic, you are not allowed to use any synthetic or man-made chemicals. So while there are technically no reports of anyone getting sick from eating non-organic, what is not known is the effect of repeated exposure to these pesticide residues on food. Because if you think about it, most of the fruits and vegetables that you eat them raw, or you eat them, maybe partially cooked. Cooking does take some of the chemicals, burn some of the chemicals off and makes it a little bit safer. But, a lot of the fruit that we eat, especially things where you don't have a peel, you're eating them, kind of straight from the ground. So it's really important to kind of keep that in mind. So there was actually a study that looked at organophosphorus and glyphosate metabolite levels. So these are two very common pesticides that are used in conventional farming. So they looked at kind of what these chemicals break down into, or what, we call those your metabolites. So they looked at these levels in urine in people who ate either organic or non-organic diets. And they found that the people who ate organic diets or organic food had significantly lower levels of these pesticide metabolites than non-organic eating people. So this is really important because the World Health Organization now recognizes both of these chemicals, organophosphorus and glyphosate, as probably carcinogenic. So again, carcinogenic means that it probably causes cancer. So I personally wouldn't want to eat anything that could potentially cause cancer or, trigger inflammation or anything like that. So again, just keep that in mind when you are purchasing produce. And I always say at a minimum, check out the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list. Those are the foods that are rated to have the highest pesticide residue. And every year they update the list. So I would say at a minimum, if organic is a stretch for you financially, buy those foods organically. All right, my second tip is to pay attention to your cleaning products. Household cleaners and detergents contain a number of chemicals, and a lot of these chemicals can be really harmful. So fumes released from cleaners have been shown to increase the risk of asthma or other respiratory illnesses. Women employed in the cleaning business while pregnant had an increased risk of birth defects. Cleaners also contain a lot of fragrance, which can be, manufacturers are currently not required to specify what ingredients are in fragrance. They can just label it as fragrance. And fragrance can be a whole host of toxic compounds that are not disclosed on the label. About 75% of the toxic or the chemicals used in fragrance have been shown to be harmful to our health. Okay, so read the labels on your products. I know they're really hard to read. They're not like food ingredients. There's lots of chemicals. But I would also check the Environmental Working Group Healthy Living app and to see how they rate them. They rate them on a scale of basically like totally safe or 1 to 10, which is like pretty harmful. So I would take a look at those, and you want to kind of aim for something in like the green range, or, you know, low, like 1, 2, or 3. All right, third tip, filter your water. So water, even the water that comes from your home may be contaminated. So common contaminants of water include things like lead, mercury, aluminum, perchlorate, and arsenic, all of which have been shown to cause serious harm to our health. So there are several ways to filter your water to remove contaminants. One is a reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis is really effective, and it's kind of a multi-stage process that pushes the water through, you know, typically 3, sometimes 4 cleaning stages to remove contaminants. There's also a newer kind of method out there called that uses UV light. So UV light kills germs, which the reverse osmosis system doesn't have, but it doesn't remove other water contaminants. So you really don't want to use it on your own. You want to either use reverse osmosis or combine it with UV light. The last one is activated charcoal, which is pretty common. And it's found in kind of, you know, like the lower end type of filters, which uses a carbon-based filter. However, it's not as effective as reverse osmosis. The other thing I would do is check your tap water in your city or your town where you live. You can go to mytapwater.org to find out how clean your tap water is. If you live in a place that has amazingly clean tap water, you probably are okay not, you know, filtering it, or at least, you know, not doing like a whole home filtration. But if you live in an area where there's a lot of contaminants, I would definitely do the water you drink, and you could even consider doing like your entire home as well, because remember, you shower, and that, you know, things soak into your skin as well. All right, tip number 4, check your beauty products. So beauty products are full of unregulated chemicals. So there are thousands and thousands of harmful chemicals, and the US only bans or partially bans or restricts 30, as compared to the European Union, who bans 1,400 around there. Canada bans around 600. We are at 30. Okay, there is like no regulation on beauty products. It's pretty terrible. So many of the chemicals and ingredients used in beauty products are endocrine disruptors, and they can really have a negative impact on, you know, on your health, on your hormones, on fertility, and even on inflammation. So, you know, I would use, again, the Environmental Working Group Healthy Living app to check the safety of your beauty products. I personally love Beauty Counter. I'm also a consultant for Beauty Counter, but I've used their products for many years, even before I became a consultant. So I would definitely check out their products. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to answer those. But, you know, definitely be aware of what is in your products, because if you think about it, we use so many products a day, between shampoo, what you use in the shower, soap, your deodorant, all the makeup, and you're like layering it on multiple times a day. So again, it's kind of, you know, one product may not be so bad, but like the repeated exposure can really hurt your health. And we just want to be really careful about that. All right, so just to recap, today I shared with you my top tips for reducing your exposure to harmful chemicals that may affect your health and or trigger inflammation. So, you know, stay tuned for future videos on, again, I always talk about the connection between autoimmune diseases or inflammation and diet and lifestyle, to kind of keep you informed and help you make really good choices. So if you haven't already, click the subscribe button below to follow me on YouTube. You can also, if you go into my bio, you can find my website. I'm also on Instagram, the Autoimmune Dietitian, so you can follow me there. And I'm on Facebook too. So have a great day, and stay tuned for another interesting video coming shortly. Thanks.